Okay, recording has started. Good morning, everybody. This is a brand new initiative that we're doing here at the Shrubberies. Again, thank you to David Mintz for helping me out with the technicalities. What we're going to try to do is we're going to have a series of interviews with different people that are instrumental in charities or that run charities, for us to understand that there's so much we can do. Even though coronavirus is hitting all of us, we can be out there to give more, to do more for other people. And by learning about charities around the UK and seeing what they're doing for people in the past and what they're doing during Corona, I think we can all learn a tremendous amount. So today I'm joined by a personal friend of mine, somebody who we learned together with in Israel. We shared many Shabbos meals together. Our wives were friends from high school and from primary school days. So I'm joined by Rabbi Avrohom Zeidman from GIFT. And thank you very much, Rabbi Zeidman, for joining me today. I'd like to maybe tell us a little bit about yourself and then tell us a bit about the organization that you work for.
Myself. So born and bred in Edgware, went to Hasmonean High School, then went off to yeshiva, then came back to England to work for Seed, and then after working for Seed, then worked together with United Synagogue, and then now working for GIFT. That's pretty much a short synopsis of my life with a few more details inside there. Marriage and kids, thank God. And GIFT organization is about getting young people involved, or everybody involved, in becoming givers. That's what GIFT is about.
That's really interesting. So who had the idea of coming up with this idea of GIFT, and what was like the first thing that they did in order to create this organization?
Sure. So GIFT was started by Rabbi Naftali Schiff, who created actually Jewish Futures. And GIFT is one of those organizations within Jewish Future. He asked, how can we get people to become givers? You know, when it came to the previous generation, when it came to the generation of the Holocaust, it seemed to be at that time people understood that if you have skills, if you have talents, not just money, but just all what you have, it's there to be able to give. And yet what we're finding is that with later generations, it's no, just because I got something, why should I share it? So he asked, how can we create an organization which would get people to become givers? You know what? Let's call it Give It Forward Today GIFT. Let's create it. How are we going to do it? Not got the foggiest, but we're just going to create this thing called GIFT. And from there, he then found someone called Michelle Barnett, who used to be a probation officer, and said, leave probation, being a probation officer, help out. We want you to run this. So then she found that actually there was plenty of people who in the community are in need of help. She went around to bakeries and found out that so many bakeries just they used to chuck away all their bread. It was a surplus of bread. So she said, can we have your bread? Turned her whole house into a bread factory, started distributing bread. And from there, why not bread? Let's also start distributing other foods. So then we have the gift boxes outside shops, asking people to collect food. And then it moved further to that. And then afterwards, the question was, why are we stopping with food? It's not just food. Let's get involved. Let's create a whole education team to get people to educate about giving. And let's get volunteers also. So therefore, there's now 3 departments within GIFT. One part of GIFT is giving out food to people in need. Another department is getting people to volunteer for whatever charity. It's just get people to volunteer to help out. And then the last part of GIFT, which is one which I'm running, is on education, getting people to and teaching how we can get involved and the importance and the desire to become a giver.
Amazing. So what kind of stuff do you share with people to try to awake within them the desire to give?
Oh, we have many ways of doing it. So first of all, it's very important that people realize that giving is fun. You know, there's it doesn't work asking people to give when they have a feeling of, you know, every time I give, I'm losing out. Like it's like, you know, give your toys. It's like, I don't want to, you know, volunteer your time. It's like, why are you doing that? So number one is giving has to be fun. So we go to a lot of schools and we run not lunch and learns, but we run lunch and do's, where at your lunch break you can get involved and you can start helping out a different charity. And it's a good social event and it's great and it's fun to do. We also actually have lunch and learns as well. And we have classes, and all our classes we make sure are very interactive and are a lot of fun and teach them about the importance of giving. But also we go older as well. We also have chaburas. We have, you know, those who are interested in philosophy there's a deep philosophy behind giving. So we're running a lot of those, and especially during the coronavirus now, I'm stuck here in my loft doing lots of sessions on Zoom, like all of us, just really learning how to use Zoom, but really back to back, running lots of sessions, teaching about the philosophy and the importance about giving. But that's just my side. But from gift side, since the coronavirus, really gift had a choice. Do we step back and say, well, we can't do our job now, it's just too hard, or do we actually step up? And it looks like the stats have been, it's blown out of proportion, not out of proportion, it's just blown tremendously since the virus. How we're helping out the community and getting people to be involved and volunteering. It's incredible how so many people have stepped up and said, we want to help, and we're just the facilitators to help people to do that.
So if you find actually coronavirus in certain ways has been a catalyst for good amongst people as opposed to just dragging people down?
I think very much so. I think very, very much so. I mean, for example, and again, gift only works because of volunteers. It's not gift, hey, look at what we've done at gift. It's we are here to help facilitate and to be able to give desires for people to want to volunteer. But let's say, for example, let's say in London, outside most of the kosher shops, there's been a sign saying if you need people to, at the very beginning, let's say in March, and in April, where people were really locked inside, if anyone needs help with shopping, then speak to gift. And speak to gift means that we created all these different groups, and as soon as we put on, a request, can someone please do some shopping, it goes. So we've been able to actually deal with 3,500 requests since the virus started. We've had also students who said, look, I've got some skills, I want to be able to help, is there anything I can do? So we've actually set up 250 pairs of tutoring. We've got younger kids as well who says, I want to do some artwork, but I want to do something productive. You know what? Start writing letters for the elderly and using, this has been working through volunteers. I want to be very clear that we are here to facilitate it and to inspire people, but it's the volunteers who manage to do this. But we've had 1,500 letters that have been written so far to go to care homes. We've had other organizations which have said, look, we also want to help out with NHS. How can we do that? So we've facilitated, we've organized, and getting families in to do the packing, all with social distancing. We've given out 4,500 NHS care packages. Wow. We have other volunteers as well who wanted to be able to cook meals, so organizing that and making sure with kashrut as well. We've given out over 6,100 meals to date of cooked meals. And generally generally we've been giving out food. I think in March it's about 260 households every week we've been giving out food, but we've seen something like a 25% increase. So we're now at every single week about I think we're at 340 households weekly. That's in London and Manchester together who we're giving out food to. So all that requires lots of people to be involved, lots of volunteers, lots of people who desire to give, and it's the community who's really, really stepped up, and we're helping the community. That's the job that they're doing.
Wow, so that's amazing. So do you have listening to those numbers, your budget must be like crippling, or what is that like? Or is a lot of the food given also as donations, so it's not as bad as it sounds?
Well, considering how much food we're giving out, no. Okay, this is not, yes, clearly our overheads have skyrocketed. And again, this is not an appeal video, but yes, desperately we've quite a lot of funding. People have stepped up with funding, but also a lot of funding unfortunately has stopped. And again, this is not a charity video, but yes, we need support to make this happen.
So absolutely. I mean, part of what we're doing with these videos is we want to be able to give people the opportunity to know about the different charities that actually go on within their community, and the opportunity to hear about them and maybe to donate to them. So if you would like to donate, there is a banner that's going across the bottom. David Mintz helped me putting that one across. Please click on it if you understand and you like the work that they're doing and want to continue helping them with that work. So what is it that you love most about working for Gift? You know, I've seen some of the videos and some of the stuff you put out. I remember there was a video with you in a Superman costume running around all of London doing all these things. That must have gotten...
Don't give away the
identity, right? But it kind of, you know, that must have gotten hundreds of thousands of hits, that video, and it's such a simple thing to do, and yet it does so much. Is that the kind of thing that you love doing, or is it more the education? What is it that you love about your job, or is it just everything?
I think the best thing in my job is dressing up in spandex, you know. These people here around central London, there's nothing better than that. No, I mean, yeah, the message is very clear. The message is very clear that you can be a hero, you can do stuff, you know, it's anyone can do it. And don't think that, you know, oh, you know, well, when I win the lottery, then I can get involved. Or, you know, when I got, you know, superhuman strength, then I can do it. Rubbish. I mean, the one thing which we stopped, I used to run these things called supermarket challenges and see how much you can actually spend with £10 to feed a family. And it's incredible how far it really goes. But what you really see actually is with small amount of money, you can make a huge difference. So, and with big money, you can make an insanely big difference. We try to be able to buy stuff as cheap as we possibly can to be able to maximize how far it goes. But, and then realize, you know, just with one letter, when you're thinking about, you know, you hear 1,500 letters, one single letter, you know, when you see the result of that, and I remember giving in someone, you know, in a care home, a letter that a child had made, and she cried. She was literally crying, like, for me, this letter, oh, you've made my week. And I felt that's how sad it is, made a week with one single letter, made the week. If that's one single letter, then think how far it can go. Now, actually, if you go to the Gift website, we got printed out, we got cards for you to print out, which are in black and white. You color it in, you send it to us, and we send it off to Israel to Israeli soldiers, and we send it off to care homes and NHS workers. So we have those cards there, which you can be able to use.
Amazing! It's just amazing the stuff that you do. It's just it's so broad ranging.
It's very broad. Thank God.
I was looking this morning. I know this was not sort of a question that we had discussed before, but this morning, as they've come out with this idea of Marcus Rashford putting himself behind the people and getting people to have these free lunches. You know, this is basically what you've been doing for years already. You know, of course he's a hero for what he did, and of course we should applaud and we should laud everything that he's done. But that's literally what Gift has been about for years, hasn't it?
It's about supporting people, and it's about the main thing is inspiring people to want to support other people. That's what it is. So for me, I enjoy. For my side, it's my side in the organization is the educational side, and the bit which I enjoy, other than just dressing up as superheroes going around central London, is on this education. I mean, at the moment now, the question is whether to go. I can either go into schools, which is what I've been doing, and I love teaching, or just stay on my Zoom and make these videos. Which is also being used. So in schools at the moment, they're using quite a lot of schools are using our videos. So we're creating, again, if you go to the Gift website, we've got all those different, we've got presentations with, we've got the presentation with me speaking over them, and you can actually see all these different aspects about giving. We're trying to get them out quite quickly, at least one a week, but hopefully 2 or 3 even a week. And those are being used in schools. So for me, that's, you know, if the education is being used and it's used to inspire people to give, that's what I want to do, and that's if whatever's being used, it's great.
So 1 or 2 more questions, and we'll wrap it up. So if somebody wants to get involved within Gift to start giving, how would they go about doing that?
Well, I would definitely say, okay, lots of things to be able to do. Different ways of giving. First of all, it depends on what age, you know, your capabilities. But
who would they contact? How would they do it? Should they go through the website?
Go to our Gift, jgift.org, look at our website and have a look at all the opportunities there. But not only opportunities there, but if you have an idea, if you see a lack in the system, if you see something which needs done and you know, and no organization's doing it, then speak to us. Because it's not just about our projects and what we've got, and we want people to fulfill our projects. If you have a project, you know, if you have a project, if you have something you think like, why not do this? Then use us. And we're happy to use our charitable status to be able to say, look, if you have, let's raise money for this, let's raise money for that, or let's make a, you know, let's whatever the idea happens to be, and then talk to us, and we would love to back you up, because you know, if 2 heads are better than 1, then thousands of heads are better than our organization. It's come up with ideas, and so many people have come up with ideas. We've had many different ideas, and these ideas have been used, and it goes further. It's just thinking about one example. This one's quite an old one. We got lots of other ones, but this one, someone said, how about collect secondhand shoes? All right, sounds like a good idea. Go ahead. So he designed a logo and started making flyers, and we started collecting shoes. I've forgotten how many shoes there was now. I think it was over 2,000 pairs. It could be even more. I've forgotten the statistic now. But those shoes went out to asylum seekers, went out to Israel, and it went out also, I think, even to the Philippines. I think to the Philippines we sent out a whole load of shoes, and this is for shoes. Otherwise, people wouldn't be able to have them. So we're looking for people to come up with ideas. So if you want ideas, we need, first of all, simple. We need food being able to be. If you put outside the kosher shops in Manchester as well, if you have to put food in that, I guarantee you we're not eating that food. The food which goes in goes out to families, and especially now because it's increased so much. That food is great. We need drivers to be able to send out food. We're always looking for drivers. But again, have a look online for younger kids and stuff, how they can get involved. And giving can also obviously be in the home as well. It doesn't have to be just sort of volunteering. And that's what some of the videos are about. How can you actually become a giver at home? How can you give by making telephone calls to people who are isolated, people who are lonely? But otherwise, look at a website or give us ideas. And as long as you're involved, not, why don't you? Why don't you? No. If you say, I need help, can you help? We're here. If it's, why don't you do this or why don't you do that? We've got lots and lots of suggestions at the moment. But please, we want your support, and we want also new ideas how we can get involved to help other people.
Amazing. It's really amazing to be able to speak to people and see how they're helping and making a difference to others, and also how they're trying to use other people's ideas and to come up with new things to do. So for everybody who's watching this video, please, if you want to get involved, if you want to do something, if you want to give money, anything you wanted to do having to do with gift, please get in touch with jgift.org. It's an amazing organization. I've seen so much of the work that they've done. They used to run from the back of the shrubbery, so part of the reason I reached out to you also is because I knew about the organization personally. It's such a pleasure to sit and be able to discuss this with you, Rabbi Zeidman, today. Thank you so much for your time. I really do hope that this interview goes out to a lot of people and that people come up with new ideas. And it just takes one idea, like you said, one idea like the shoes, and you can make a difference to 2,000 people. And it wasn't this crazy idea. It's something that was pretty simple. And people are like, look, what do we do with our shoes when we're finished with them? So we put them in a shoe bank, but instead give them to gift, and they can give them out to people that would need shoes. And somebody who sadly can't afford the shoes now will be able to afford those shoes. And people have many ideas like that. So if you have an idea, if you want to get involved, if you understand that charity and giving is what we should all be doing as a Jewish people, because that's one of our traits. Baishanim, Rachmanim, Gomer, Chasanim, one of the three main traits of the Jewish people is that they're people that like to give and like to do. Please get in touch either with myself or get in touch with Rabbi Zeidman. Again, as I said, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for taking the time out of your schedule. And I do hope that you'll get a lot out of this interview. More ideas, more money, more food, and especially more people who want to give. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.